Hello and welcome to the Patriot on Television Nigerian. Patriotism is a feeling of loyalty and allegiance. True patriots show patriotism through their actions and choices. Welcome to the Patriot, a platform where we discuss issues of national importance affecting the sovereignty of our great nation, Nigeria. On this medium, we spotlight men and women who have distinguished themselves to fatherland in various fields of endeavor, including those serving, retired, living, or even the dead. Welcome on board. I'm Peggy Shanby. Loyalty is a difficult phenomenon assumed to be understood by many. Loyalty is a function of patriotism. Regrettably, not too many people are patriotic due to the absence of loyalty. We will introduce our guest right after this break.
Herbal medicine, also known as a tradomedicine, is the study of botany and the use of medicinal plants. Plants have been the basis for medical treatments through much of human history, and such traditional medicine is still practiced today. Esoma Herbal Institute was established by Solomon Balo Sabina to research into various herbs for the improvement of human health. The Herbal Institute came into full operation on the 20th of March 2000. The Institute, apart from research work, carries out consultation with the aim of administering the products of their research on patients with various ailments.
A researcher into herbs. I'm an architect by profession, but the Nigerian Society of Pharmacognosis saw our work and decided to induct me as a member of Nigerian Society of Pharmacognosis. I believe the only non-pharmacist that is so inducted into that society.
Esoma Herbal Institute is committed to the belief that evidence-based medicinal plants and botanicals have a major and ever-growing role to play in the lives of Nigerians, particularly in the area of public health. Solomon Balo Sabina, the president and founder of Esoma Herbal Institute, revealed that his herbal products can cure sickle cell anemia, HIV, and the dreaded coronavirus.
In 2001, during the Abalaka era, we call it Abalaka era, we were the only one given opportunity of 2 centers. One is in Niprid, and the other one was taken by World Health Organization to Federal Medical Center Makurdi and use it on full-blown AIDS, 10 of them, according to their report. You see, what we've been discussing is majorly from this herb. And for some of you to show us that it is not that we are hiding anything, as they usually say herbalists do. The name of this herb is Andrographis paniculata. Google and you find what it does in the body.
Esoma Herbal Products becomes the answer to COVID-19 pandemic. We only hope that the opportunity has once again presented itself. Rather than fold up and lock up yourself in fear, the solution is not far from you. Esoma Herbal Product is the answer to COVID-19 pandemic.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. This is the Patriot on Television Nigerian. My guests who will join me to discuss on the Patriot today is Evangelist Sunday Atta, a seasoned journalist and a public analyst. Evangelist, welcome to the Patriot.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Today's episode on the Patriot centers on the man Malam Abba Kyari, the immediate past Chief of Staff to the President Muhammadu Buhari, who was appointed Chief of Staff in August 2015 and died on the 17th of April 2020. A man we consider a legendary patriot, most loyal to his principle, even in death. Kyari was born on the 23rd September 1952 to a Kanuri family from Borno State. He was educated at St. Paul's College in Wusasa, an outside city in Kaduna State, and later considered joining the Nigerian army following the advice from Maman Daura and Ibrahim Tahir. In 1976, he met General Muhammadu Buhari, who was then governor of Borno State at that time. He turned down his interest in the army as he studied in the UK and graduated with a bachelor's degree in sociology from the University of Warwick in 1980, and also obtained a law degree from the University of Cambridge. Kyari was called to the Nigerian bar in 1983 after attending the Nigerian Law School. In 1984, he obtained a master's degree in law from the University of Cambridge. He later attended the International Institute for Management Development in Lausanne, Switzerland. And between 92 and 94, he participated in the Harvard Business School program for leadership development. He held several positions in the bank and even the oil. Please, Evangelist, who is Abba Kyari?
Thank you very much. You know, Abba Kyari is a man of integrity. Abba Kyari is, it means different things to different people. And for me, Abba Kyari represents integrity, loyalty, and discipline. I liken Abba Kyari to the David in the Bible, to whom God said, "This is my son, in him I am well pleased." Abba Kyari maintained and stayed to his values, principles, and discipline even until his death. He was a loyal servant to his principal, not just to his principal, but to Nigeria as a whole. Abba Kyari is a lover of democracy. Abba Kyari is a lover of the great Nigerian movement. Abba Kyari has always been at the front line in partnership with President Muhammadu Buhari to develop Nigeria and to move Nigeria forward. He sleeps. The late Abba Kyari sleeps, wake up, thinking about Nigeria. For my personal interactions with him, there have never been a time we spoke, and in his 1,000 statement or comment, he's not mentioning Nigeria 999 times.
Evangelist, that's all right. So you actually mentioned here that he thinks about Nigeria, and then there was no time that he talked and then did not mention Nigeria.
Right.
And then, we also heard a lot of people say he will go to work as early as 8 o'clock and be the last to close.
Right.
I mean, can you tell us something about that? Considering his age?
You see, a lot of Nigerians don't have an idea of who the late Abba Kyari, was at the time, even until his death. It is very but normal in Nigeria for a few set of people, few set of individuals to try criminalizing activities of those to whom they feel threat to their interests in the sovereignty of this country. Abba Kyari remained the only pillar that have saved Nigeria from crumbling, if you don't know. Before now, we on the street, knows and understands few interest groups that think Nigeria belongs to them. They do not want Nigeria to have stable electricity. They do not want Nigeria to have railway running. They do not want Nigeria to have even economy, blossoming. They don't want Nigeria to even grow in any ramification. But Abba Kyari remains a man that every minute of his time is devoted to the development of this country. Like you rightfully said, he is the first to be in his office, even before his secretary, his personal secretary, and the last to leave the office. That is not even what makes me not really like fall in love with him, because I naturally like people that are loyal, disciplined, and principled. Abba Kyari remains the only one who has waged war against the powerful cabal in this country. But you see, in order to destroy the image of Abba Kyari, these same cabals went behind and bought people over to sponsor campaign of calumny against the person of Abba Kyari, to claim that he has now instituted his own cabal at the villa. This is because they were no longer getting the free contract, the free money they were getting. The situation we have in Nigeria before is a man sitting in Ogun giving direction to a man sitting in villa to order and award contracts to both living and dead companies, and these jobs will not be done to their personal pocket.
Talk about this cabal. This cabal. Everybody wants to switch cabals. And the play of politics around cabals.
You see, before the emergence of Muhammadu Buhari in 2015, these cabals existed. As a matter of fact, they played a prominent role in bringing in this government. You remember they ditched their other camp for the new camp because they felt that their interests in the other camp were no longer maintained. You remember they accused the other president before Muhammadu Buhari of not, doing some things they asked him to do or playing to the gallery. So they switched to this, angle with the mindset that they are going to now have control, as usual, as they have always wanted to have control, even outside power. But upon arrival, they didn't know that these guys, their love for Nigeria won't let them do some certain things. I was driving to Benue the other time. That particular road contract has been given right from 2003. The dualization of that road. People keep eating the money left, right, and center, and nobody is to be held responsible. But you see, the arrival of this government brought an end to those selfish cabals. So if you tell me now that there are cabals in the villa, I'm going to reply you to say that it's better we have the cabals in the villa that have the interests of Nigeria at hand than to have the cabals at the other end that are looking to take from our sovereign wealth and enrich themselves. Don't even forget that against all odds, Abba Kyari, not as you know why he traveled and got infected with COVID-19. On the norm, the interest of this government before his demise was to stabilize electricity. And that was where Siemens came in, and they were doing their best not to let what happened when a man that was heading Nigeria at the time said we needed $15 billion to get electricity fees, and after spending 30-something billion while he was president, electricity was not feased. They didn't want us to have, Nigerians to have that kind of scenario again. So the Abba Kyari now went on behalf of the presidency, on behalf of the government, to establish a government-to-government deal. So Siemens can come in and stabilize our electricity. This is to say that we don't have the chain of 10 people taking different commission for a contract. So it is now government-to-government deal.
Okay, right about you just mentioned that the chief of staff as it is now, late Chief of Staff, former,
Yes.
went to strike a government-to-government deal. You know, the Nigerians are asking questions that wouldn't it have been someone else who would have represented the government? We have the SGF, Secretary of the Government of the Federation. You also have Minister of Special Duties. You also have aides in several, you know, government ramifications. So why would it have been the Chief of Staff? Was everything just going to happen in this country because it was the Chief of Staff, or it has to be the Chief of Staff?
You know, the passion to which you work matters a lot. Nigerians are not looking for people that will come up here or that will, you know, chairman or spearhead a deal that will, you know, lead to this has to go and that has to go. You know what I'm talking about as far as the system. The president, Muhammad Buhari, is a patriotic Nigeria. He has Nigeria at heart. And so therefore, it is under him, within his jurisdiction, to say that I personally will go and do this deal, or to say that Abba Kyari represent the government in this deal. You see, before now, what we understood or what we know as far as the happening in government is, I know Mr. A, and through Mr. A, I can front a deal for a company outside this country. The aim purpose is not to get the job done, but to get my money out of the deal. And so, I don't care if the job is done, but I care if my account is loaded. So it is in the wisdom of Mr. President to have sent Abba Kyari to represent him or whosoever at that meeting.
But he chose to send someone who has trust.
He chooses to send someone who has trust. And this is what we young people and upcoming politicians must learn. A man said that this man has been my friend and loyal ally for 42 good years.
Yes.
He has no comma on him.
No. And talk about this man who has been a friend to Abba Kyari. I learned that Abba Kyari is from the Kanuri extraction.
Thank you very much.
And a Muslim.
You see, not everybody. You see, there are a lot of people, when appointments were being made, he's empowering the Hausa people. He's an Hausa man.
Not East.
They were saying he was Abba Kyari is an Hausa man. They are playing an Hausa agenda. Our friend from the other side that has a radio of one seat and all of that to insult people, he keeps saying that it's an Hausa agenda. But upon his death, we realize Abba Kyari is neither Hausa or Fulani.
Yes, he said
He is a Kanuri man. So he's not Fulani, he's not Hausa, he's just a Nigerian, a patriotic Nigerian. Look at this man, FFK. In his tweet I read concerning this man, he described him as an honest, sincere man.
Yes.
Abba Kyari worked with FFK's father. You and I know that the man, FFK, is my friend.
Yes.
He has no control over his...
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know.
If Abba Kyari was not in a good record,
FFK
will finish it. I know. But Abba Kyari worked together with FFK in FFK's father's law firm, and FFK had nothing wrong to say about this man. But the people who do not know Abba Kyari, for example, just yesterday I was reading through the dailies and social media, and I saw the Anambra State government wrote a condolence message, and there they credited the federal project going on in Anambra to Abba Kyari.
Can you just imagine this?
Abba Kyari is not from Anambra State. They said he's there on the social media. He personally influenced that project, where there are senators from Anambra State and House of Rep members from Anambra State. He single-handedly project in Anambra State, influence it, lobbied for them.
I even heard that he was a best man to the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Right.
Onyema.
Yes.
He has been friends with him for 4 years.
They have been friends for a very long time.
That Abba Kyari
Yes.
was his best man
Yes.
in an apostolic church.
Yes.
So a Muslim can enter the church.
Yeah, that is to tell you who that man is. Nigerians have been misled by our old, I'm going to call them old forgotten leaders, because there is no legacy to remember them with. They did nothing. The other man in Ogun State, the only thing he did was to take our money for electricity, until today we don't have any. So that's what. So you don't call those people patriotic Nigerians. But you see, when they see people that is on board to correct the things they were unable to do, the only thing they do to such people is to also criminalize them. One, they have the resources to engage the media against them. They have the presence of same people alike like them to write deadly articles against these people, against such characters. I'm not talking about Abba Kyari now. A lot of different, there are people in this government doing great wonders. But as long as you are not paying royalties, as long as these people are not the one controlling the system, they want to be the one to dictate who is a minister, they want to be the one to dictate who is that and who is not. As long as it's not them that are doing this thing, forget about it. You, whosoever is doing this, if it, whether right or wrong, they are going to pull you down. But this is the time for Nigerians, most especially those in my constituency, the youth, to open their eyes, get understanding that we cannot. I asked somebody a question recently. I said, can you categorically say that the late Abba Kyari brought this program into the system that crumbled the economy?
And what was his answer?
No, he doesn't have any. The only thing he had was the sponsored articles and sponsored hate speech against Abba Kyari on social media.
Without facts.
Without facts.
In Anambra State, Evangelist
Yes.
Sunday Atta.
Yes.
I want to remind you that you have mentioned that in a condolence message from the government of Anambra State, they mentioned in their statements that all the influence, all the projects that's going on right now in Anambra State are all influenced by Abba Kyari.
Right.
And then the road from Abuja to Makurdi down to Enugu State,
Right.
we used to hear quite a lot of contracts, huge sums of money,
Right.
released everywhere,
Right.
but no job done.
No.
That's also been credited
You
to
know,
Abba Kyari.
I was speaking the other time. I was traveling on that road, and I was amazed. I'm like, wow, is this what is happening in this country? I didn't believe that this government is even doing this much. I stopped by to speak to one of the, people. I'm sure he's one of the engineers there. And I said, why are you guys still working this COVID-19 period? You guys are still working? And one of the Chinese man there told me, he said, well, the contractor told us that if we are not on site for 2 weeks, the contract will be revoked.
All right,
That is to tell you
how serious.
How serious that's to show you a government with great political will.
Oh yeah.
A government with great political will. There is nothing that has been associated with Abba Kyari that has not succeeded right from his childhood.
So are you saying that Nigerians are actually expecting to have reactions on this question I'm asking ours, to the presidency, and that control everything to his advantage too? If he was able to influence quite a lot in a number of other states, and in fact the projects that we're seeing in Nigeria, then could it be said that the speculations that Nigerians are feeling that he wielded undue powers on the presidency?
Let me start.
What would you respond to?
Let me start by asking you a question. Do you buy influence? Do you buy influence? Do you get influence by force?
No, you earn it.
You earn it. If your cameraman standing here, he start doing this your job better than you? Is he not going to buy more influence from the management of this organization to say, oh, this guy is actually better? When a man begins to do the job and is beginning to bring in result at the management level, he will definitely command influence. So if Abba Kyari of blessed memory has a lot of influence, it is because his passion for the job, his willingness for the job, his democratic, posture has earned him. His patriotic nature has earned him right from the last administration. We're not talking about them right now. But upon assumption, upon the assuming office,
yes,
the girls were to go play a competition. And they refused to go.
Until
Abba Kyari came.
And he paid all the allowances.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Abba Kyari is not the permanent secretary, Ministry of Sport.
But he paid it.
The question is that why didn't these girls do their protest to the Federal Ministry of Sport?
But they went to the Chief of Staff.
Went to the Chief of Staff.
You know why they went there? We'll come back after this break and then we'll talk about it. Thank you very much, Evangelist. All right, we'll go for a very short break, and when we return, we'll dissect more on who the man Abba Kyari is. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us again. Evangelist, you were talking.
Yes, so I was talking about the issue surrounding the Falcon. Now, they would have gone to the Ministry of Sport to demand for what is their rightfully theirs. But you see, when you know a man of capacity, you just go to where your answers will come from. You don't go to where Steve's old story. Even when money is released to them, these people will sit on it.
Yeah.
But when they went to Abba, Abba didn't wait for government to even mobilize. He pleaded with them with humility. They agreed. He said he was going to pay them. He paid them from his personal resources. They went with that motivation. The man told them, I'm going to give you guys this money from my personal resources. And someone say, oh, how did he get personal resources? Before now, Abba was a journalist, he was a lawyer.
He had banks.
He had banks. So he was not a hungry man into government.
ExxonMobil.
Do you get?
Yes.
So immediately as they left, they went with this great encouragement and confidence and moral booster. They went for that tournament and brought the cup back to Nigeria. Before they showed Mr. President, they took it to Abba Kyari. Because they realized the man who have given them the moral booster. These are about many things this man has done behind the scene. if not for this man, the outside cabals would have hijacked the system. They have created different Facebook, social media platforms to promote fake news against this man. But you know, he's not deterred. He's not moved by what people say. His interest is to make Nigeria work again. It was quite unfortunate that when they came, they met a system that was already messed up. Okonjo-Iweala told the former government that even if you people win, the way you are wasting this money, we are coming back with nothing, and we are going straight to recession. So it's not a matter of who won. It's about a matter of a minister of finance within your government telling you this thing you are doing. Even if we return, we won't have 1 naira to use in moving government. So Nigerians has failed to realize, why is it that anytime we have a good man on the seat, we begin to, talk ill against the person, forgetting that the people that are even, orchestrating this, hate speech, or I call it hate speech,
yes.
against these people, it may not be Abba Kyari tomorrow. It may be another patriotic Nigeria seated somewhere that will become the next chief of staff.
You watched that. You have watched that documentary that has just been played.
Yes.
And you were able to see the role.
Yes.
From where he started.
Yes.
And how he was laid down to rest.
Yes.
Which means, with all that you've said here, it means that we have lost a legend.
We have lost a patriotic Nigeria, a legend that his name is to be written in all. It should be immortalized.
Immortalized in the archives, on the Hall of Fame.
The man in Imo State, he said, I will immortalize this man. So, what Nigerians are failing to understand is the people, those that have destroyed, messed our economy up, messed our head up, messed our resources up. You see, when they came, every bad thing, Nigerians and the cabals want to push it to Abba Kyari. But you and I know, we were in this country when the presidency placed a ban on importation of rice. A lot of people insulted them. A lot of people called them names. But today, imagine we were depending on foreign rice to feed.
Within the lockdown and the COVID-19.
No. Just imagine it. That we were depending on foreign rice to survive.
Would have been dead by
would have been dead. So, a bag of foreign rice would have sold for 100,000.
So the idea came from the chief of staff.
When you now attribute everything that the presidency have done to Abba Kyari, why would you not say Abba Kyari brought that idea too?
He's capable of doing that.
Do you understand? Will you just put all the bad things on him? When you say a lot of Nigerians are made to believe that he's even more powerful than the president.
But was he actually more powerful than the
He
president?
was never more powerful than the president.
Can a chief of staff command the army?
He cannot command the army.
Who does it?
The president is the chief. Is the one that commands the army. Every appointment, the chief of army staff, all the chiefs are appointed from there. That's why we frowned against the recent child's play from the Senate to reduce the power of the president to them. We called it child's play because they don't know what it means to reduce. So if you begin to attribute all the things that the president has done to Abba Kyari, then you don't attribute just the bad ones. As a matter of fact, they have done nothing bad.
You have been very close to the chief of staff. I know that very well.
Sure.
Evangelist Sonny, you have been very close to the presidency. I know that I'm getting this information from very good authority.
I'm a Christian.
Oh yes.
I preach the gospel, both of Christ and of good behavior. And as a Christian, I have desired that one of our religious leaders or religious followers can be like Abba Kyari. I have desired that one. The reason you have everywhere littered with church and mosques is because of lack of loyalty. Because you have followed your general overseer 2 days, and you cannot read John 3:16, you open your church. Let them go and learn from Abba what it means to be loyal, what it means to be an ally, what it means to be a faithful steward. We have not seen it in my constituency, which is the church. We have not seen it in the Islamic. We've not seen it. Abba has brought a record. Abba has brought a book that everybody, both Muslim and Christian, has to study. It's called the Book of Trust. How much can your general overseer trust you as a pastor? As a follower, how much can even your pastor trust you? As an imam, how much can your sheikh trust you?
Not to talk of a president.
Not to talk of a president.
Trusting his appointee.
Trusting his appointee. And that is why I do not blame the president at any time sending Abba Kyari to go on functions that he cannot attend. Because that's the only person he can trust. Come on.
Oh, yes.
It's not like the other government where they could not even fire the people they hire. Even in the face of gross misconduct. The Zani at the NNPC and the man there.
No.
Come on.
Okay, so are you now saying that in the conclusion of issues, that the man has been laid to rest according to that documentary? You could see that the president was in awe. You know, the nation is grieving. And at this moment, I think the president, I don't know if he is recovered from that yet. And then, is he going to have someone who is like Abba Kyari as a chief of staff, even if there's a replacement?
Abba Kyari has left a very big shoe that I can assure you it will be difficult for anybody to replace. It will be extremely difficult for any person to replace. I sympathize with the president because for him, this is a setback. You see, as soon as they got to power, they promised Nigerians that even in the midst of this sabotage life, right and center, we are going to bring insurgency to a standstill. Today, you know what is happening at the field? The chief of army staff, the Galan Buratai, has pushed Shakau is now the one begging, give me amnesty. I want to surrender. You know, Nigerians, we don't like our country. We are not patriotic.
Not patriotic at all.
The Chadian president operated within his borders to clear his rebels, the Chadian rebels that joined Boko Haram, operating within the borders of Chad and Nigeria. He came around there and cleared a few of them. And Nigerians forgot that recently, not too long ago, Abuja was barricaded left, right, and center. That even pastors could not go to church because of the fear of Boko Haram. Nigerians forgot that they could not go to school, they were at home. Nigerians forgot they could not go to market without the fear of Boko Haram in their mind. They forgot that a man called Buratai has been in the system, pushing them until even push them off Sambisa Forest. I was at Sambisa Forest. I was at Mongonu the other time when they did the arm celebration there. Mongonu was captured by the terrorists during the last administration. With all the effort the military has made at this critical time, Nigerians never appreciated it until in quote president led a few troop of people to clear his rebels. And they started singing his praise. Today, Shakao is crying that I want a soft landing. Give me a soft landing. Every day on the field, the army keeps recording successes upon successes upon successes. Where are these people now?
And the president has found reason to keep Buratai there.
I mean, do you change a performing player?
Player, when does that?
I mean, when Messi is on the field,
Yeah.
and they need to score, do you change Messi to bring the goalkeeper in, the assistant goalkeeper in? No, we have a Ronaldo and Messi put together at the field.
That's very correct.
Their win is there, and I can assure you that in a few time from now,
everything about this
Boko Haram will become an history where our children will read about.
Just like the Metatsania of the days.
Do you understand?
All right, so we have few minutes. We have just very few minutes left. So I just want you to conclude. I want you to conclude on the very basic facts that Nigerians need to know. You know, the family of Abba Kyari is watching this program. I went to the house the other day. I met the wife and the 4 children. They were in a moment of grief.
The Nigerians need to understand and know that Abba Kyari was a loyal, faithful, committed Nigerian, not to the president alone, but to Nigeria at large.
And to his family too.
To his family as well. He got healed not from his family farmland. He got healed not from his bedroom, but on a national assignment. He died an honorable man.
Nigeria has missed a man.
Nigeria.
He sacrificed his health.
He sacrificed
for the success of Nigeria.
When he was moving from the clinic at the villa to Lagos, he said, the reason I'm living here is so that there will be space for others within the villa should in case there is an outbreak. Because he understood that probably had had contact with his staffs. So he freed up that space to get another space so there can be space. He has always put Nigerians and Nigeria ahead of himself.
I think we're going to invite you here again. Another episode we will just dissect again on the man Abba Kyari.
Thank you very much.
It's a beautiful moment that we have been speaking with evangelist Sonny Atta, and he is a very close ally to the former chief of staff to the president, Malam Abba Kyari. It's been a wonderful moment having you on the program.
Thank you.
And we enjoyed you
very
well.
Thank you.
All right. I hope this will show many Nigerians indeed that Malam Abba Kyari was truly a patriot, loved his country, even in death. This is the much we can have on this episode of The Patriot. Join us again on this platform for another interesting engagement with another patriotic Nigerian. Until then, be patriotic. Many thanks for watching.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country. So goes the opening lines of the 6-line National Pledge of Nigeria. Today, not a few, whether young or old, merely recite the National Pledge as a matter of routine or tradition, with their hearts being poles apart from the very spirit, creed, and essence of the pledge. Many simply do not understand its purport or feel the import of it, while many others choose to observe the pledge in breach only. Today we have decided to walk on the footpath of the very words of the National Pledge, keeping its vision and essence in our hearts, in our souls, and in our minds.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country,
to be faithful,
loyal, and honest,
to serve Nigeria with all my strength,
to defend her unity,
and uphold her honor and glory.
So help me God. Nigeria, no doubt, will truly be the giant of Africa, developed and well rated in all indices, if her national pledge is treated with sacred obedience. It's on us, it's our duty and responsibility to make this country a better place. Let's live the pledge.
corona. Que se